What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match and Barcelona beat Getafe by 1-0. It is the typical Xavi scoreline under Hansi Flick, but of course the game went very differently. It was very much a tight end game for Barcelona. A mistake from Getafe was capitalized, but they did not, of course, capitalize on our mistakes. Second clean sheet of the season, but most importantly, 3 more big points. 7 out of 7 wins to start this league campaign. Now, the starting lineup for this match is on the screen for you right now. It was Iñaki Peña in goal, a back four of Kounde, Cubarsí, Inigo Martinez, and Alejandro Balde. Double pivot of Eric Garcia and Casado, with Pablo Torre in the 10 just in front of them. On the right hand side, Lamine Yamal. On the left hand side, it was Raphinha, and up front, it was Robert Lewandowski. I did predict this lineup 100% correct, of course, in the match preview yesterday, so no real, surprise from this lineup. Of course, the main selection was Pedri getting the rest in this match. Now, the only goal scored in this match was scored by Robert Lewandowski. The play started with Eric Garcia making a great run in through the midfield from the pivot, found Lamine Yamal out wide, who then found Jules Kounde on the overlap. The cross came in, David Soria, the Getafe goalkeeper, miscatches it, and it drops right to Lewandowski, and he pokes it in to the back of the net. They end up scoring, of course, the only goal in this game and getting Barcelona the 3 big points. Now, overall, the team performance rating on the night, I'm going to be giving it a very solid, I would say, 7 out of 10. I don't think we were average. I think we were just a bit above average. We did create a lot of chances in this game. We looked very comfortable. The only time we didn't look comfortable was in that last 5 minutes of extra time to end the game off, where, of course, Villarreal missed that huge chance for Getafe. You knew they were going to get one. In the end, how Barcelona defended, how they were going to give it to them, was going to be that big factor. But apart from that one chance, honestly, it was comfortable for Barcelona. The high line was worked very well in this game, much better than it was against Villarreal. We played more so of a unit. Again, we looked a bit conservative around the 70th minute after, I believe, Lewandowski was taken off. It seemed quite evident you're going to just take the 1-0, soak it all up, and just take these 3 points and get out of here. That was kind of the mentality that I felt like. But I think, again, this is very much in retrospect to other 1-0 wins that we've seen over the past 2 years, where we're barely scraping by. We've not been clinical. Even this match, we weren't clinical. Lamine Yamal had 2 big chances. Raphinha in the final third today wasn't really decisive, wasn't really good with his decision making. Lewandowski could have had some opportunities as well. Just the final ball, I feel like, was missing in this game, but that doesn't take away from the midfield control, the defensive stability, and the attack being fluid. Despite all the lack of goals per se, we're winning games 5-1 and 7-0 and all this stuff. But the reality is, you have to be on your day. We've been on our day for quite some time in the league, but today wasn't quite there for us. But I think, again, build-up play, controlling the midfield, the fluidity in the attack was all there. That's why I don't think this is very much, an average performance, but I think that's why I've given it the above average score. Really like the unity of the team as well in that last 15 minutes, kind of graphed away the result as well, because he knew that at that point, look, it just wasn't our day in front of goal. Let's just take the one goal that we did end up getting luckily, and let's conserve this win. And we saw the team defend each other as a unit, which I really liked in that final 10 minutes. So overall, not too fussed about the performance. You can perform master classes in every single game, but the most important thing is good teams win when they don't, of course, they're not overall effective or don't perform well. Today, Barcelona weren't effective, but they still picked up 3 big points, and that for me is a big achievement in itself. So overall, in my opinion, the team performance rating tonight will be getting a 7 out of 10 from me. Let's now get into the players' individual player ratings. So, of course, with the goalkeeper, Iñaki Peña. Now, of course, a few hours before this game, it was made clear in the media that Barcelona are going to sign a goalkeeper. So that's not going to really, help Iñaki Peña's confidence too much. Love the fans chanting his name at the very beginning of the game. I think his performance tonight was 6 out of 10. Honestly speaking, didn't really have much to do. Was very strong in his aerial commandment, picking up a lot of loose balls in the air. Had a bit of a slip up in the first half where he almost threw it away to Getafe, but apart from that, Getafe really didn't have much going forward. But he does have, of course, 1 of 2 clean sheets for Barcelona this season, so I'm not going to take that away from him. I think overall he was alright, didn't really get tested in this game, but the most important thing is that he kept his composure with the Szczesny news and got a clean sheet, so give credit where it's due. So I will give him an average 6 out of 10. Now for the center back partnership in front of him, firstly on the right hand side, it was Pau Cubarsí. I will be giving Cubarsí tonight a 7 out of 10. Thought he defended really well. On the ball, wasn't the best under pressure. I think his decision making today wasn't the best. There were so many moments, so I'm thinking, okay, the ball's coming in over the top, you're in your space, head it back to Inaki, let him catch it, reset the play, he'd boot it. Oh, when he's in a tight area, you have Bolden to your left-hand side, what would he do? He booed it. He kind of defended a lot like Inigo Martinez in this game. You need that balance. You need someone with, the smartness, the intelligence, the control. Then you have someone with kind of, the rawness and just, booting it out and just, when in doubt, boot it out mentality. When they have both of them doing it, you give away the ball a lot, then you give, of course, the opportunity for Getafe to have chances. But I think his defending today, Kubarsi, was sensational. That tackle in the 9th minute as well for that chance for Carlos Perez was sensational. So credit where it's due. I think he defended very well in this game, but I think on the ball could have been a bit better. So I will give him a 7 out of 10. Of course, his partner on the left-hand side was Inigo Martinez. I'm giving Inigo an 8 out of 10. I would have given him a 7, but that last ditch tackle in the 90th minute, where he got that bit of a knock from, that was brilliant. Of course, it was, slip up by Gerard Martin. He came to collect the pieces. Brilliant tackle from him. And I think, again, his passing today was sensational. Essentially, the role of Kubarsi and Inigo were switched, where Kubarsi wasn't the best on the ball, was just kind of booting it out, not really thinking. Inigo was a more composed, more control center back. His diagonals to Lamine Yamal tonight were absolutely stellar, and that is, of course, the big advantage of having a left-footed center back at the left center back spot. When you have a right-footed there, like a Christensen or Araujo, that they kind of turn their whole body, it gives, the Getafe player enough time to press. Then, of course, you have to ping it as well. It's always difficult. They tend to, of course, go to the left back, maybe go in the midfield. So having that asset of Inigo was fantastic. Of course, the defending day was brilliant, holding the high line very well. You can tell he's got the kind of commander in that back line. So no real quirks from him. For me, he gets an 8 out of 10. Brilliant performance from him. Now for the fullbacks, firstly on the left hand side, it was Alejandro Balde. For me, Balde tonight will be getting a 7 out of 10. I thought he had a really good game. I was gonna give him an 8, but I think going forward he wasn't the sharpest. I think his build-up play in the middle, defensive-wise, his runs were fantastic as well. But I wanted to continue his runs a lot. He was a bit hesitant when he reached the final third in this game, in my opinion. But just having a fullback that not only has the speed, but has the dribbling ability, has the mindset as well, the composure, the ability to cut inside. It's just, he's lights and days better than Hector Fort and Gerard Martin in that position. So it sucks when he has to drop out. You can see the level drop as well, which is pretty annoying, which I guess it comes with the world of football. But I think Balde had a really good game. I think the only thing I would say about him is that in the final third, he could have been a bit more sharper with his crossing. A lot of times he'd run down the left hand side and just cut it back to whoever was behind him. So want to see him make a bit more progressive passes going forward in this game. I think he still had a really good game. I will be giving him a 7 out of 10. At right back, it was, of course, Jules Kounde. I'm giving him a 9 out of 10, my man of the match. I cannot with this man. He's so good. The crossing from Kounde is still not perfect in the final third, but what he has perfected is his dribbling. My God, he's completing like 3 dribbles per game now, and he's completing them. Defending was immaculate. Going forward, he was fantastic. Of course, he had the cross for the Lewandowski goal. We put a lot of good crosses in good areas as well. Just, Lewandowski was running late, or Raphinha wasn't doing the best. Of course, Raphinha's header that he missed, that he was onside for, that came from a Kounde cross. I think Kounde was absolutely world class tonight, as he usually is. But today we saw the offensive side of Kounde shine. If he does this more again on a consistent basis, rack up the assists, perfects the crosses even more, he'll be one of the best fullbacks in the world. I think right now he's the best defensive fullback in the world. Again, defensive wise, he was brilliant as well. Another 90 minutes under his belt. He's just so decisive and so important for Barcelona. For me, without a shadow of a doubt, gets a 9 out of 10, and he also gets my man of the match as well. Now into the midfield. Firstly, in the pivot, we do have Eric Garcia. I'm going to give Eric Garcia a 7 out of 10. Thought he played very well and progressed and got used to the pivot way more than he did in the match against Villarreal on Sunday. He was making, again, progressive balls moving forward. His, touches were only, 2, maybe 3 at the absolute most. Again, he's not going to be doing 1 touch because he's not that kind of a pivot. He's still getting used to the position, but he was moving the ball very quickly, making, of course, that great run forward to create the Lewandowski goal. Did a lot of that in this game. We saw him drifting a lot, all over the place, sturdy in defense. Did miss that freaking huge chance in the second half, point blank in front of the net, and he absolutely skies it, which is a bit annoying. But apart from that, I thought he had a really good game, and he really looks like he is growing in that pivot position. So credit where it's due for him, and I'm going to be giving him a 7 out of 10. Now, of course, his partner was Marc Casado, and he will also be getting a 7 out of 10 for me. I think Casado, again, was just... not only does he have the heart, that you see from players that, come to La Masia, but he also has the know-how. His intelligence is so sharp. His composure on the ball is immaculate for a player who's just been in the first team for only a month and a half, 2 months. Of course, last season he was, training with the first team, but never got involved, came on as a sub for like twice for 10 minutes. He's now, integrated, and his adaptability in this month and a half just shows the progression and how well La Masia is structured. But on his performance today, progressive passes moving forward were sublime. Composure in possession was superb. Defensively was great as well. Of course, him and Eric Garcia were kind of sharing the role defensively, where when it was going forward, he did have a bit more of the freedom. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Gave the ball away a few times in the middle of the park, especially in the second half. I think that's just due to tired legs at that point. But I think he really put in a shift for me, and he will be getting a 7 out of 10 in my books. And finally, in the midfield in the 10, it was Pablo Torre. I will give Pablo Torre a 6. I thought he was a bit average today. Definitely not what we saw against Villarreal. I think the game didn't really suit anyone in his position. Whether Raphinha played there from the start, Pedri, Dani Olmo, it would have been difficult for that 10. You're being in the middle of the park at a 4-5-1. There's going to be no space. It's going to be difficult. I think when he was on the ball trying to create something, he looked alright. His set pieces were pretty good as well. Had some good moments, but couldn't really, show his ability in this game just due to the way Getafe set up. So it's going to be a bit difficult for him. But 6 out of 10 for me is, of course, no mean feat. Now, into the front line, of course, first on the right-hand side, we will start with Lamine Yamal. I will give Lamine Yamal tonight an 8 out of 10. I thought he played much better in this game than he did against Villarreal, despite in the game against Villarreal getting the assists. And now, of course, Lamine Yamal's first game in La Liga where he did not even register a goal or an assist, but again, his record is still fantastic. Got on the ball so much, was looking to make things happen. Of course, had 2 big chances, one off the bar, one with a great save from David Soria. He looked like he won the ball, he wanted the attention. That's what I want to see from a player like Lamine Yamal. Whether it's Lamine Yamal on the right hand side or Ansu, Raphinha, Varane on the left, whatever it may be, what I want to see from my winger is the ability to have confidence and trust in your ability and try to make things happen. Did not have too many take-ons in the sense of dribbles. They were double teaming him, of course, Getafe down the left hand side, so it was gonna make it difficult for him. But I still think, despite that, looked like a hell of a player in this game. He looked like the spark, when he gets the ball, let's get off our seats, see what he can do. Looked like that in this game. Didn't really look like that in the Villarreal game, in my opinion, despite, of course, that world-class Travella assist for Raphinha. But this game, much better than Lamine Yamal, in my opinion, and he will be getting an 8 out of 10 from me. Now to the other winger, it was Raphinha, captain, man of the match, not man of the match, player of the month award at the beginning of the game. I think it was very much like his performance against Villarreal, but the Villarreal game kind of overshadowed, the brace kind of overshadowed his performance a little bit. I mean, he looked good in build-up play. I think his, my main criticism a lot for Raphinha is his indecisiveness in the final third. He wasn't like that today because he didn't get in the final third that much. Missed 2 big chances in the game, mainly, of course, that header from the Kounde cross that I already mentioned, but didn't really look sharp in the final third. I think in build-up play he wasn't too bad either. But I don't know. It wasn't the Raphinha that we've seen already in the past few games. Didn't look like he wanted the ball too much. We thought maybe with him starting with the captain's armband, give him that extra juice, extra boost kind of thing. But we honestly didn't see it. Maybe Raphinha just performs better away from home. I don't know. Maybe that's just his persona. But in this game, I feel like he was a bit more quiet than he tends to be. Got in good areas, but just wasn't clinical. That wasn't really linking up well with the likes of Lewandowski, Pablo Torre, even Pedri when he came on, and Lamine Yamal. He was switching a lot of positions. One minute he's on the right wing, left wing, then in the middle, then back to the left wing. I get that. So it does make his job a bit more difficult, but I'm not really going in on him. I don't think he was playing badly, but for the end that he's had so far this season, I will give him a 6 out of 10. And finally, up front, your boy RL9, Robert Lewandowski. I have given him a 7 out of 10. Of course, got the goal, which is important. I think his hold-up play in this game was absolutely sublime. This man was getting bullied, getting kneed in the back about 5 to 7 times. I'm surprised he walked off this pitch alive. He was getting manhandled, and despite that, performed well, got the goal. Again, his hold-up play for me in this game was absolutely sensational. My one criticism for him is that when Balde and Kounde were getting good areas to put in crosses, he didn't tend to be there. That's why a lot of the times they cut back, as I mentioned when I talked about Balde. So he wasn't too much in the box, and thank God he was in the box for that moment where David Soria made the mistake, but he had to do a lot of dropping back, a lot of, attracting defenders to create spaces for other players, taking kind of the dirty work for everyone else with his hold-up play, of course, being spot on, but wasn't in the box too much for a striker that, you do want to see, of course, create chances in the area. But still a great game from him, and I will be giving him a 7 out of 10. And finally, for the substitutions, there were only 4 subs in this game: Ferran Torres, Pedri, Hector Fort, and Gerard Martin. Flick didn't really tend to use his 5th one in this game, just based on how the game was going. Honestly speaking, Ferran didn't do much. Pedri kind of held some of the possession in the play, which we want to see. I don't even think Hector Fort got a touch. Gerard Martin is... I still don't see what Flick sees in this kid. 23 years old, and La Masia just shows, the level of, where you're at. Almost gave away a goal. Indigo didn't save his blood clot. Like, I don't know what Flick sees in this kid, but, I mean... I think now I do have I'm starting to get an agenda on Jordan Martin, I'm not gonna lie, but he's just beyond mid. But again, none of the subs really had time to make an impact. Of course, Ferran Torres did play half an hour in about 3 different positions, but I don't think he got on the ball too much. One of the good opportunities that he did have, it was flagged for offside, so we couldn't really see the outcome of it. So all the subs came in mainly for fresh legs and just to freshen up things. None of them really had a strong impact. And last but not the least is, of course, the manager, Hansi Flick. Tonight I'll be giving him a 7 out of 10. Of course, 3 points in a clean sheet is a big asset to his rating. I thought he picked a really good starting lineup as well. We'll have to see maybe 1 or 2 extra rotation, but against the team that we are playing, based on how the game did, of course, going very near 1-0 victory, he was correct to go fairly strong in this match. Would like to have seen, some earlier substitutions, especially at halftime when we wanted to create more danger. I want to see him use a bit more fresh legs. Again, only 4 subs as well when you, cry for a good squad. Could have maybe just get thrown on Gilly or Tony Fernandez. I understand why he kept back Ansu for this game. I know a lot of people want to see Ansu. We haven't seen Ansu since the 10 minutes he played against Monaco. Nothing against Villarreal, nothing in this match as well, but you want to really ease your time with Ansu, especially with the pressure that he does have with the number 10. But apart from that, I think, he coached the game really well. The press was good. Again, the highlight improved from the match against Villarreal. So all in all, I think he had a good day at the office. I will be definitely giving him a high rating of a 7 out of 10. So that was a match review for Barcelona versus Getafe in La Liga. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we discussed. But the main thing I want to firstly, of course, is your thoughts on the performance, your player ratings, and your manager rating as well. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.
Go, 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 go.